Hello everybody, how is going on? In this lecture we are going to learn OS module in Python. The OS module provides a big range of useful methods to manipulate files and directories. And it is very important module because we can do many things with this module. And before using how we can import our module, let's learn it. And here, if you want to use our OS module, before we need to import it, and we will say import OS. That's all. If I press shift and enter, I imported my module and now it's ready to use. And let's also use dir function to see how many functions it has. If I say dir OS, as you see, Python returns me a list of functions we can use for our OS module. As you see, we have here many functions, but in our lecture we will see most used functions for our OS module. Okay, and the first name is os.name, and this function returns your operating system name. For Windows it returns NT, and for Mac and Linux it returns POSIX. In my case, I am working on a Windows computer now, so that means it will return me NT. Let's check it. If I say print os.name, and let's see, as you see, Python return me NT because my computer is Windows. If you are working on a Mac or Linux, it will return for you POSIX. Okay, and the next one is os get current working directory. This function returns string of current working directory. Let's see it how it is working. I need to say here os dot get current working directory. That's all. If I press shift and enter, as you see, Python return me C user and ASUS. This is my current working directory. Okay, and then the other one, it is change directory. This function allows us to change our current working directory. For example, now here this is my current working directory, right? How can I change it? To change it, I need to say here os dot change directory. Okay, and here I will copy this guy and I will paste it here, and I want to change it, let's say desktop. Okay, and if I press shift here, I need to delete this guy, and here single quote. If I press shift and enter, and now if I check my current working directory, let's see, as you see, now my current directory is my desktop. Okay, and what is next? The next one is os.list directory. This function returns a list containing the name of entries in directory given by pef. What I mean here, if I say os.list directory, and here if I give my directory here, pass here my directory, as you see, this function returns a list containing the name of entries in directory given by pef. Here, as you see, I can see what I have on my desktop, my folders, also files, and also programs. Okay, and of course we can use it like that also. It's simple way, os list directory, and I will say here os.get current working directory. It is same thing. Okay, as you see, I got same result here. And if you want to list a specific directory, we can use this function. Of course, we can also use it. I want to also show it. If I say here list for me here, and single quotes I will say, and here if I say backslashes, and if I here C is a folder, if I say C, okay, and if I press shift enter, as you see, I can see now the files or folders under my C folder. Okay, and what is next? Also, how we can use it? For example, you can, as I said, this is a list, right? As you see, we have square brackets here, and I can also list these items if I use for loop. How can I do it? If I say for I in os.list directory, and here I will say os get current working directory, and after that here I will say print I. As you see, Python returns me same result. Here it's a list, this one is not a list. Okay, but same result. And you might think, can I also list for example, specific extensions here. L and K is a specific extension, or txt files. You can list your txt files, which extensions or which programs you want. You can also list them. How we can do it? To do that, we need to use again for loop, but here little bit a different function. I will say here for I in os list directory and os get current working directory, and here I will say if I dot ends with, and with, let's say for example here what I have, L and K is fine. If I say L and K, so what's wrong here? Sorry, I need to use colon here and print I, sorry, and I will say print I. As you see now, I list all the extension, the programs, their extension is L and K. Okay, and what is next? The next one is os.start file. Start a file or folder with its associated application. What I mean, for example, here, what I have here, let's copy this guy here again. I will paste it here. Okay. As you see now, I have here which one I can open. Okay, I can run. Let's use document.txt with os.start file. How can I do it? I can say here os.start file, and here I will need to give my file name. Okay, and if I press shift and enter, here as you see I opened my notepad, because actually I opened my document.txt file. Okay, you can yes, this example is fine for this function. And what is the next? The other one is make directory and my make directories. These functions, they are similar, but only they have little bit some small differences. I will also try to explain it. We can create directory with these functions. With make directories also allows us to create subdirectories, but with make directory we can only create directories. We cannot create subdirectories. Okay, and if I say here, for example, os.make directory, now let's create here, I have a, let's say, new folder or something like that. Okay, new folder if I want to create, and after that I will press shift and enter. So here what's wrong? It's already exists, and if it's already exists here, we will get OS error, so it's okay. I will say new folder .1. Okay, if I press shift and enter, now I have created. Let's see it also here on my desktop. If I list them, as you see now, my new folder 1 is created by this function, and this is my current working directory, right? Now I created my folder in my current working directory. Can I create my folders in a specific directory? Of course I can do it. I only need to say here os make directory. Okay, and I need to give specific directory. Let's use this guy. Okay, and this directory. If I want to create a folder here, desktop C, I need to say here only my, sorry, this one must be, this code is here, so I will say here folder, and I will create my folder. It's already also exists, sorry. So if I say folder 1, as you see I also created a folder in a specific directory. And also let's learn how we can use make directories. It is a little bit different. We can also create subfolders with it. Let's see it, how we can do it. os make directories, if I say, and here I can use this guy. Okay, paste it here, and here I will say under desktop, let's say folder. I hope I don't have the name folder. Okay, I think I don't have. Yes, and for under folder I will say subfolder. And single quote. If I press shift and enter, as you see, I didn't get any error. That means I have created a folder on desktop. Its name is folder, and also I have created a subfolder for my folder. How we can check it? We can come to here, and let's actually we need to use this one. Let's copy this guy. Simple. Here, list directory. If I say desktop, okay, this one is my folder is here, and if I want to see what I have under folder, let's check it. If I say folder, as you see, I have also subfolder here. This is how we can use make directories function. Okay, the next one is rename. We can rename the file or directory with this function. It is syntax for the function is here. We need to say rename old name, and also for an comma new name. How we can use it? For example, if I say rename, let's use, I have something here, its name is document.txt, right? If I copy this guy, and here I will say existing name is document.txt, and new name I want to name it document2.txt. Name rename is not defined because I need to say here OS, and after that it will work. Now if I use this function and if I list them again, let's see, my document.txt should be document2.txt. As you see now, I renamed my document.txt. Its name is now document2.txt. Okay, and what is the next one is remove function. This function allows us to remove any file we want. How we can use it? Here, for example, we can remove document2.txt. How we can do it? I need to say here os remove document2.txt. Let's check it. I didn't get any error, and if I list my desktop again, I will see it here. As you see now, I don't have document2.txt file. Okay, and remove directories allows us to remove empty folders. Okay, here I have new folder 1, they are empty folder, and I can remove them with this function. How can I use it? I will say here os remove directories, and I need to give the name. For the name I will say we can remove folder. It's also empty. If I say folder, os remove, it's remove here directories. So what's wrong here? There is not empty. It said, as you see, I said allows us to remove empty folders, because here I have also subfolder, right? That's why it didn't allow us to remove it. If I say new folder, as you see, it's an I didn't get any error because new folder was an empty folder. That's why I could remove it. Okay, this function only allows us to remove empty folders. Don't forget it. And the next one is os.stat. This function performs a stat system call on the given path. What I mean here, for example, if I say os.stat, and here I need to use a folder. Let's say for the folder we can use it. If I say folder and press shift and enter, as you see now we have something here. Results, see, I know developer, something. There are many things here. This is I will show you. I will copy something here, and which guys here we can use. We have here three functions we can use it. The first one is stctime is date of file creation. Okay, the sta time is time of the last access for our folder, and stm time is time of recent content modification. Okay, so if I press shift and enter here, actually we don't need to press shift and enter here. If, for example, if you want to find date of file creation for this folder, how we can do it? As you see now, it's that one is stc time, right? It's not human readable here. So how we can make it human readable? We need to do that. We need to import our datetime module. Okay, and I will say here from datetime import datetime, and after that here for the time I will say time is equal to os dot for the folder, I will say folder, and here I need to use dot stm time. Okay, m time is recent content modification. Let's use c time. Okay, and here after that I need to say print datetime from timestamp, and I need to pass argument time. If I press shift and enter, as you see now I can see here the date of file creation. It is this time. Okay, this date. And what is next? The next one is os.system. This function executes a command a string here in a subshell and allows us to run a program in our computer. What I mean, for example, we can open any program in our system with this function. If I say system, and what I have here, let's run notepad. Okay, how can I do it? I need to come here and within single quotes I need to give which program, which software I want to run. Okay, if I press shift and enter, as you see now I opened my notepad with this function. Okay, and also of course you can open your txt files and other things also with this function. And the last one is os.path exist. This function returns true if the path refers to an existing path, returns false if the path not exist. Let's see it. For example, if I say os.path.exist, which one? Let's say for example C is exist or not. Okay, if I say this folder is exist or not and C, as you see it returned me true because I have this folder, right? If I say for example B, it will return me false because I don't have this folder in my desktop. This is how we can use OS module in Python. For now, that's all. See you in the next.